coverage. We've got all the sports covered on the Devin Dixon Show. ESPN Sports Radio 97.7.
Having Dustin and George drop by again, benefit auction, barbecue dinner, 6 o'clock, Washington County Fairgrounds this Saturday. $10 a person, tons of stuff you can take away, take home, bid on, win. Like I said, night tickets, NASCAR tickets, rounds of golf, for sports fans out there, 12 different guns, lots of games, all for a great cause. Never time to give you some winners. John Wells is one of the biggest players, Ed. And, of course, this is always fun when we sit down and pick 3 winners for you here on 97.7 ESPN. We've got lots to get to, lots of games. We're going to break down 5 games for you here on ESPN Radio. John, how are you, bud?
Doing real good. Yourself?
I cannot complain, man. It was fun to have some guys in here for a great cause. Family in town lost a bunch of family members in an accident. So, sorry, we're a little bit behind today, but you ready to pick some winners?
I am every week. Just sort of like picking BYU to win it straight up last week.
I know. Clutch. So clutch. John Wells, biggest players at 16-11 last 5 weeks. He called the BYU game outright last week. His insider and 5-star plays were 4-2 and up 10.5 units last week. So another winning week for John Wells, biggest players. Let's look into the picks, shall we, buddy? Utah at San Diego State. Utah's trying to bounce back. What do you think? What do you see?
Well, they are trying to bounce back off that loss to LSU, and like I said, we saw it. A lot of people didn't. They're 1-1 straight up. They're 0-2 against the spread. Brewer was just 15-26 last week, 147 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Thing that killed him was the time of possession. They had 24 minutes and 30 seconds. San Diego State is 2-0 straight up. They're 1-1 against the spread, scoring 28, giving up 10 points per game. The running back, Greg Bell, has got 38 carries for 286 yards at 7.5 per carry. The quarterback, though, Brockshire, he's got just 33 attempts in the 2 games. The Utes are 4-0 the last 4. They're 5-0 the last, or they're 4-0 the last 4 at San Diego State. 5-0 the last 5 overall. The line's going from 7 to 9, so it's dropped it from a 3-star play for us down to a 1-star play. But the Utes do bounce back. They win this game. 1-star play for us, 27-14.
27-14, play the Utes to bounce back. Let's get to Utah State. Aggies playing the Academy. Air Force. Air Force favored by what is it, John? 7-8 points in this. Aggies big underdogs against Air Force.
Yeah, they are, and they're 2-0 straight up and against the spread, scoring 37 points a game, giving up 23.5. Last week the first week against Washington State, they won 26-23 at Washington State. Quarterback Logan Bonner's been very good, 533 through the air with 5 touchdowns. The D held Washington State to 350 yards, and 64 of them came on 1 running play. But Air Force 2-0 straight up, 1-1 against the spread, scoring 29 points a game, giving up just 8.5 points a game. They held Navy to just 3 points. They're the 10th ranked rushing offense in the nation. The defense so far this year is allowing 87 rushing yards, 99 passing yards. They held Navy to 62 on the ground and only 32 through the air. Favorite in the series, 5-0 the last 5. The home team's 5-2 the last 7. Air Force is 5-1 the last 6. We're going to lay the 8 with Air Force, 1-star play. They win the game 25-15. Play Air Force minus the 8.
They were 17-point underdogs against BYU outright, but I haven't watched Air Force yet. You have, so you must know something I don't.
When you hold a disciplined team like Navy to under 100 yards in total offense, you've got a pretty good darn defense, and then you got the 10th ranked rushing attack in the nation. It's just going to be tough for the Aggies to stay on the field enough to keep up with them.
That's why I bring John on for stats like that one in question. Well done, buddy. He's got more ammo in his back pocket when we go to the next game. Arizona State, BYU. This is another home game for BYU. Arizona State, Herm Edwards in the top 25. Arizona State is favored, so BYU is home dogs. And I've seen this line, what is it, 3.5, 4, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yeah, it's really a bad spot for BYU, but Arizona State, they're number 19 right now. They're 2-0 straight up, 0-2 against the spread, scoring 32.5 points a game, giving up 8.5 points a game. But that's to the likes of the powerhouses of Southern Utah and UNLV. So Jaden Daniels has got 307 yards passing. They average 165 yards rushing. The D allows just 189 yards per game. 83 on rushing and 106 defensively. Number 3, BYU. They just came off that big upset of Utah. Hall is 36-58 for 347 with 5 touchdowns. He's doing well. Algier, 44 carries, 196 yards. The problem is the defense. They're allowing 383 a game, 137 on the ground, 246 through the air. We're not playing the game because we just think it's a real bad spot for BYU. We have Arizona State winning the game 27-8. But it's just the spot that we're not going to play the game. We hope BYU does win the game, but based on the numbers right now, we just can't play them.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers, now you know, that you're 1 unit, 2 unit, all the way up to 5 unit insider moves, and if it's a no play, it's a no play. But BYU fans pretty optimistic after finally getting the monkey off their back, beating Utah. I wonder if there will be the letdown, like you said, because of the emotional drain, or if that will be a big motivation, knowing, you know, they finally got you. They got a pretty good team. I can see it going either way. And you're right. Arizona State has not really been tested. You're paying SUU to beat them. UNLV got beat by Eastern Washington, another FCS team. So UNLV's down a little bit. They got another new coach down there. So it'll be really interesting to see how this one plays out on Saturday.
I really do hope that they turn around and keep their head in the game and bounce back and don't let this spot really affect them. But based on the pure numbers, it would say you have to lean to the Arizona State side of the game, even though they've only played Southern Utah and UNLV, because BYU's played 2 very emotional games, very strong games, and when you come off of that, the game against Utah, you just never know where they're going to be at 18, 19 years old.
Yeah, I mean, they go into the season going Pac-12, Pac-12, Pac-12 for BYU as far as opponents. They've won the first 2, but Arizona State is supposed to be good like Utah, right? They're not Arizona, who's just not very good. So we'll see. No play on that game, but John does have Arizona State winning that game 27-8. All right, let's go to the Bills and the Dolphins. The Dolphins beat the Patriots last week. The Bills lose at home to the Steelers. What do you see in this one, John?
Well, the Bills looked great in the first half and horrible in the second half last week versus Pittsburgh. They were 6-3 on the road last year, 5-4 against the number, averaged 28.8 points a game, gave up just 25 points a game. Last week, they had 117 yards rushing, 254 through the air, and yet they only allowed 75 on the ground and 177 to Pittsburgh and still lost. Miami won 17-16 versus New England. Tua was 16-27 for just 202, and they ran for just 74 yards. The D allowed Mac Jones to go 29-39 for 281 yards, and the defense allowed $1.25 on the ground. Miami 6-1-7 the last as a home dog. They're 5-1 the last 6 versus the AFC East. They're 17-5 the last 22 as a dog. Buffalo wins the game late, 21-20. Play Miami plus the 3.5. 2-star play.
All right, the Dolphins and Benz with the points. They're tied in. What's his name? Mike Gesicki or whatever his name is.
Gesicki or
he owes me in fantasy. He played a goose egg. Got 2 targets, no catches. I'm not playing him this week.
Well, that's exactly the way to pick the games, fantasy-wise.
Yeah. Let's go to another game in that division. This is an old rivalry. If you ask, Jets and Patriot players, this is an interdivision game. And Zach Wilson was pretty good in that second half. They still lose to Carolina 19-14. Obviously, New England loses by a point to Miami. Was a 17-16. So, talk to me. Break it down. What do we see here? Jets, Patriots.
This is the exact opposite of the previous game. New England with Mac Jones, 29-31, 281 yards, a touchdown, no turnovers. You can't ask more from a rookie quarterback. They were able to run the ball for 125 yards, but the running backs did fumble the ball twice, and that's what hurt. The defense was very good. They held to 202 through the air, 74 on the ground. Belichick versus rookie quarterbacks, he's unbeaten. Jets lost last week, as you said, to Carolina, 19-14. Zach Wilson was 20-37 for 251. The problem was he was sacked 6 times, and they had no rushing game, 17 carries for 45 yards. The defense, they allowed 111 on the ground, 270 through the air. New England's defense frustrates Wilson. They're 5-2 the last 7. New England wins the game 24-10. It's a 1-star pick for us. Lay the points with the Patriots.
Lay the points with the Patriots. I will give the Jets credit. Whatever adjustments they made to the offensive line, scheme-wise, they did give Zach Wilson a little more time in the second half to be able to, salvage the numbers as you just mentioned them. Also, New England's left tackle play. No play on the BYU game, but he does have Arizona State winning it 27-8. Utah State Air Force play. Air Force follow the 8 points in that one, and take the Utah Utes to bounce back against San Diego State and lay the 7. VegasPlayersEdge.com. Next 2 weeks, you get all the football if you're a listener of our show for 50% off, John. Is that right?
That is absolutely correct. 50% off. Use double D 50 at the promo code. It'll cut 50% off. I think it comes to $24.98 for the week. You get all the college, all the pro. Last week, as he said, the insider moves into 4-star plays. They were 4-2. The overall, it was plus 10.5 units. So a guy betting $25 a unit, $1.50 on a maximum bet, made $250 last week. We have 5 insider moves already in college football this year. Over the last 2 years, there are 64.5%, so you don't want to miss out on them.
All right, just go to VegasPlayersEdge.com, VegasPlayersEdge.com, and this is a promo for 50% off. Just use code DD50, DD50. And you got a little September special too, right, John? If they buy the football season, the whole NFL, college football, they get all the rest of the baseball through the playoffs for free, right?
Absolutely. $5.99 for the football season. It's still early enough where it's less than $30 a week. You get the rest of the baseball season through the World Series absolutely free. Everything's posted by 7 a.m. Pacific, 8 a.m. your time, so you've got plenty of time to get to the games. The football, by the way, is posted Thursdays, and we do post that by 7 a.m. Pacific, so you get the entire weekend of football all the way through Monday night on Thursday. So there's no reason to miss a game. There's no reason not to make some money.
All right. Check him out on Instagram at VegasPlayersEdge. He goes some more free plays down. Since the 1st of August, 16-5 on his Instagram. Free plays documented, not fake news like some other handicappers. It's documented 16-5 since August 1st. Really good number there. And then also you can search Vegas Players Edge. Check out their YouTube channel. Go to the website, VegasPlayersEdge.com, if you want to get all John's picks. Use promo code DD50 to save 50% off. Sean, keep picking them right, and we'll talk to you again next Wednesday, my friend.
You got it. Thank you for having me again. Enjoy the rest of your week.